And there we go.
We are back for another episode.
Episode 2.
$1 Million Dopes.
For sure.
I'm excited about this one.
I am too.
I was so nervous.
I'm glad we made it. We made it back again.
Yeah.
We didn't get canceled. So that's good. Definitely that's good. So number one, we gotta start our episode off right.
Drop that.
We gonna definitely drop that. I forgot my buttons that damn fast.
Oh my god.
Green bomb.
That's
intro.
it. Yep.
There we go. So, like I said, we're gonna start this out right. The first.
Everybody loves his view in that bomb.
Yeah, the bombs get
The
everybody
bombs,
going.
I
We're
bet.
gonna drop some bombs for everybody to get it going. Let's get it started though.
Can't bite my tongue, say what I please. Diamonds dancing up my sleeve. Dropped out school just ain't for me, but I still know my ABCs. Pills of X, got O's and P's. Catching plays, you catching Z's. Trapping out the double tree, just counted up like 40 G's. Ace of spades, let's have a toast. That's $1 million dose. Run up bands and do the most. Still breaking bread with all my folks. Jewels every time I spoke. Zaza every time I smoke. Slept on floors when I was broke. Now I give all my people hope. Food for thought, go grab a fork. VIP look like the fourth. Beat first, I jumped off the porch. We slide on ops like it's a sport. Crack infested, racks invested. Count my blessings, learn my lesson. Odds against me, God was with me. Up a mid and buy a Bentley. Chop it with you, give you gain. You just like me, you feel my pain. Chop it with you, give you gain. You just like me, you feel my pain. Ace of spades, let's have a toast. That's $1 million dose. Run up bands and do the most. Giving game to all my folks. Ace of spades, let's
Now that is the way you supposed to start off an episode every single time.
The way the beat drops in that song, I love it.
Yeah, he like I said before, he smashed that.
Oh my goodness.
Knock that joint out the park.
So dope.
So we back with episode number 2.
Toop, 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 toop.
It's gonna be a good one, y'all. The title has come to me slowly. Just thinking more and more about it as I've been going on. And this one I thought a good title for it would be Love Starved.
Love Starved.
Yeah, because right now,
I like that.
right now we a real love starved nation.
Yes, we are.
With everything that's going on,
Everything.
it's a lot of shit on everybody's plate.
Yes.
A lot of shit that's on everybody's plate. So we gonna kick it out like,
That's a good title. I like that.
yeah. See, I try to keep these things secret from her because she'll try to go and either tweak it or be having a whole bunch of info for it later. So I gotta
I
surprise
don't
her.
tweak it. You're more creative than I am. So
Yeah.
I don't tweak it. I
I
let
am.
you, yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
And this episode, please do not mind, as I said before, I don't know what's going on with my TV and my AirPlay, but some reason it keep kicking my logo off the screen. So it may be a couple times I'm gonna be peeking back at that, just making sure that it's still up on the screen the way it's supposed to be. Let's kick it off.
Let's get into it.
What's today, February 2nd?
Today is February 2nd.
And this is a good month for us.
It is. You see, I'm rocking my representing for the month, my Black History.
What that say?
It says I'm about making my ancestors proud.
For sure. Y'all
I
know
love
it's Black
it.
History Month.
Only thing I don't like is when we were younger, we celebrated Black History Month and we praised it. It's like, we acknowledged all of the greatness in our history from how far we've come as a culture, as a race, and things like that. But as I got older and became more woke
Mhm.
of our history and the culture and everything, I don't really get excited about Black History Month anymore because it's like you're not going to tell me when I can celebrate my history.
For sure.
Like, I don't like being put in a box where I have to only celebrate my history. And then on the shortest month of the year, we only get 28 days, 29 every 7 years. So I don't want to be put in a box. I'm going to celebrate my history 365.
Right. I respect that. But, you know, that's just the culture that we, the society we've been in. And it sucks to have to say that because, number one, they had to individualize us and give us a month for us to actually be able to celebrate our culture instead of being able to celebrate it year round. It's like almost like, you know, let's throw the dog a bone and keep him quiet.
Yeah.
Like, so they gave us a month, and then they gave us the shortest month of all months. Yeah. And to top it all off, if you from like Cleveland, where we from, or Chicago, or Denver, wherever you may be, where it get cold, hey, what you gonna do? It's snowing. It was a snowstorm yesterday.
It was, and I think the day before that.
Yeah, so February just kind of gets smashed out, where you know you can't even really go out and celebrate the holiday.
Yeah,
and COVID really put it in a chokehold now.
For sure, but the thing is, I like now though with the Black History Month because taking everything that we've learned over the years when we were younger up until, you know, at the age we are now and then now having children is that we can change the dynamics of how we celebrate our history in our kids. Right. You know, for instance, now they have more African-American books for kids. So the representation is changing. And then we can also, you know, talk about history not only in Black history. I think because now, like, we don't even tell our kids, like, oh, it's Black History Month. Like, our 4-year-old's old enough to know Black History Month, but we don't tell them, oh, we only celebrate Black History Month. We teach him and educate him on our history throughout the year.
Right.
So,
I mean, and the thing is because, like I said before, we just been programmed like that.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And, you know, one thing I want to do, though, is shout out to, you know, of course, our ancestors that then, you know, had to go through crazy struggle to get us to this point. Another shout out to, you know, our current day warriors too. You know, it's a lot of people out there that's still laying it on the line. Absolutely. It's a lot of people that's out there making sacrifices every day.
Absolutely.
To get our voices heard. Absolutely. But then it's a lot of people out there also that help perpetuate the stereotypes.
Yes.
They help push the narrative of everything that's going on. And I don't want to per se like pick on music and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, every society, every culture has music that people can frown upon, you know, with the lyrics of the stuff that they say or whatever. But it seems like rap music really gets a bad rap, you know, no pun intended, but it really gets a bad, it's the black eye of the music industry almost. Like, they don't want it to be as mainstream that it is, but, you know, it's contagious. People love it. But at the same time, it's a lot of people that rap about stuff that they really not doing.
I was just getting ready to say, go ahead.
Oh, no, what you about to say?
I was just getting ready to say, like, back then, people were rapping about sending a message, you know, getting a message out to the communities and things like that. Now people just rap about what sells.
Yeah.
So whatever the wave is, I'm gonna rap about it because that's what sells.
Right. And the thing is of course that's always gonna be the case where people gonna rap about, you know, whatever it is that people want to hear that's gonna get them money. But then we got a lot of people who followers that hear this rap music and hear these scenarios and hear these situations that they talk about, and they really live it though. Like, you can't take certain people out of certain neighborhoods that when you rap some of the things that they really going through, they react a certain way to it.
Yeah.
You know, especially when like alcohol and drugs and stuff is involved. And like I said, I don't want to just point out rap music, because if that's the case, video games, movies, commercials, like everything has an underlining factor of what it helps push into mainstream society. Where I remember at one point you would have billboards that would show people smoking cigarettes, and like, you wasn't cool if you wasn't smoking cigarettes. But now that narrative has changed to where now you don't see like a billboard for a pack of Cools or Camels or nothing like that. Before you would see them everywhere.
Everywhere. You did see them everywhere.
Like those two twins that was for the one cigarette pack. What was that, Newports or whatever?
I think so. The twins?
Yeah, I think it was like some twins or something.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like some twins for Newports or whatever. It was just like the thing. Like if you was at a bar and the commercials would always show the guy who's sitting there smoking a cigarette, all the women wanted him. Or like the chick that's sitting there with the little cigarette holder smoking a cigarette. Oh, she was so seductive and sexy. Yeah, it was like, nah, that's not where it's at. But I mean, I just hope that one day we can all come together to, push a different narrative. I still want my rap. I still want hip hop. I still want the music, the movies. I still want, I'm not going to fake, I want my violence in movies.
Yeah.
I want, because it makes good action movies. It makes, it helps push a point. But at the same time, I want people to be able to separate art from reality.
Yeah. Our communities are so systematically programmed to continue to do things the opposite direction than educating each other on our history, on what's important, on sticking together, coming together, building a foundation in our community. Because like if people don't understand that there's power in numbers, there's power in unity, and if our Black communities can come back together, how powerful we can be and how much wealth that can spread through our communities, through our families, through the culture and race and stuff like that. But we still, like I said, so systematically programmed to, and part of it, like you said, has to do with the music and stuff like that. So people can't separate the art and, reality. But, like you said, hopefully one day in the future, our kids' kids can start to see the benefits of what's happening now and where we're going. Because we are moving in the right direction. So hopefully our kids and our kids' kids and our kids' kids, like our great-grandkids, can see what we're doing now, and how it's going to benefit them down the line and in the future.
Right. And then not only benefit them, but them also taking that opportunity to push a narrative to keep whatever it's
keep
done. Because,
going.
Our ancestors could have did Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass,
Rosa
the Rosa Parks, the list goes on and on and on and on, of those who have done things for us in the past to give us a better lifestyle.
Yes.
But at the same time, with our generation, we become complacent and comfortable with the new lifestyle, and we don't feel like there's nothing else that we need to fight for. And that's why a lot of things that I see that's happening on a day-to-day basis is still happening. That was happening back then. With shootings and beatings, and even in our own communities.
And we don't realize that we try to make it seem like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. No. Like we were just starting to come out of segregation when our parents were kids.
Right.
So that's not that long ago, because our parents are not old and they're not, like they're not in their 80s and 90s and 70s. Like our parents are still, pretty young. So it wasn't that long ago when we were just starting to come out of segregation and turn the corner into having our own independence and being able to vote and being segregated, eating in the same place, riding on the bus and sitting wherever we want. So we sometimes try to make it seem like, oh, that was so long ago. And I hate when people say that was so long ago. People just need to get over it. But it wasn't that long ago.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I got mixed feelings with that too, because I'm a person that people like it's a real hot button conversation when I talk to people, because I am one of those people that's like, hey, you can get up and grind and get what you want, and I'm not going to look back. And even though I understand that there are certain parameters that are in place that help prevent us from getting as far as the next, I've always been a person that also thought like, hey, if you really, really want it that bad, you'll go get it. Like regardless of whatever's standing in your way, you run through that mountain, you'll get to it. But I don't never want people to think that I don't understand like the systemic issues that are in
Mm-hmm.
place that are made to keep us at a certain level and
Yeah.
try to keep us
Yeah.
in that class and in that barrier.
Because it doesn't matter how far, how like whatever you do to try to get to where you want to be, there's always going to be something in place that will prevent you from reaching your full potential. I mean, even down to salaries for women and men in corporate America, you know, and that's not black or white, that's genderfied, you know. So it's just like there's something that's always going to be in place that's going to try to stop you, that's going to stop you from reaching where you want to go.
Right. I mean, and that's just, unfortunate. The U.S. has a lot of perks, but it also has a lot of things that just, at the end of the day, need to be corrected, need to be fixed. Like, the system just has to be completely flipped upside down. And it's almost like it's a good fight to have, but at the same time, whenever it's money tied into anything, it's damn near impossible to get it to, I mean, even with the justice system and everything, like Joe Biden hit it on the head, like saying like, hey, I'm about to stop all that private prison mess and all that, because it's too much of a cash cow. Like, if I owned the prison, all due respect to everybody, but why wouldn't I want it to be filled when I know the government is going to pay me for everybody that's in there? Yeah. Like, hit every neighborhood, lock them all up. You know, it's like, why wouldn't that person want that? Even though, morally speaking, if you look at it like at a moral aspect, people are like, oh, that ain't right, that ain't this, that ain't that. But at the end of the day, no business is right. Yeah. It's always something. The devil's in the details of everything that goes on. Like, there's something inside every company or every business or every institution where you'll look at it and be like, oh, that's not right. And I just feel like it's a fight that's going to go on forever until people can stop monetizing off of bullshit, basically.
And I also think that it would be disrespectful to our ancestors that we don't quit and continue to move forward. I was watching Obama on The Shop with LeBron James and Maverick Carter, and he was explaining this too. It's just like, although it seems like we're going in a constant circle where we'll take a step forward and then we're pushed 10 steps back. Right. And it's just a constant cycle over and over and over again. But we will be disrespecting our ancestors if we didn't continue to fight for justice and equality for our race and for our communities, because our ancestors, although we were getting pushed 10 steps back, they were getting pushed further back, you know what I'm saying? And they were fighting and dealing with a lot worse issues than what we are today.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm going to say that they definitely were dealing with a lot of things that were more in the open, as far as how often and how ruthless and how just like blatant they would just come to your house, do whatever they wanted to do. But I mean, we still catching, what was the dude that they was comparing to Emmett Till not too long ago?
Oh yeah.
Like it's terrible.
So
like
sad.
it's almost like you see history repeat itself over and over again. So I mean, the main thing that I just want to make sure that we promote is, one, stay strong. Yeah. Like don't never buckle for nothing. You don't have to. To understand that you just as good as the next person. Yeah. Like, so don't never let nobody tell you know less of because of the way you look, the color of your skin, the way your name is spelled or pronounced. Absolutely. Any of that. Like, don't never be ashamed to write your long ass name on that application.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and go in that interview and pronounce it, and have them pronounce your name correctly.
Don't let them mispronounce your name, stupid stuff like that. Exactly. And, of course, be respectful, but don't never bite your tongue and just don't fold. Like, because there's a lot of people out here that fold under that pressure and they just fall into victim of the system consistently. Or because of the many times they've been shot down, they just give up and don't push on anymore. They feel that self-lack. And that's why I really felt like this episode was important, because we're going to hit on like I said, that love starved nation.
Yeah.
Speaking of love starved nation, like, and this is a sidebar, but really, to be honest, February is Black History Month, but oddly enough, we celebrate it with Valentine's Day.
Yes.
You know, and it's like one of the biggest superficial holidays.
It is.
That you can get
really
to.
Is.
And we saying that, but we still celebrate it.
Yeah, we celebrate it, but it's not. I guess for us, we celebrate. I feel like we celebrate it because it's a national holiday, but it's not something that where we're like, oh my gosh, it's Valentine's Day, because we celebrate our love for our marriage all the time. And because we're married, but before it was just like, it was always that thing like, what you give me for Valentine's Day? What'd you give me for Valentine's? What we doing? But now it's just kind of like, oh, it's Valentine's Day.
Right. You remember like somebody else to say something. And what's crazy is like, now that we've hit this point where, it's not a work schedule as far as like punching the clock and things like that. A lot of holidays I don't even remember until I see it on the news or something, and I'm like, oh, today is that day. Like, that's why ain't everybody out in the streets. That's why ain't nobody at work. Like, so it's crazy because I just feel like Valentine's Day is one of those days that's pumped up. And don't get me wrong, like, if you got somebody out there that you love or somebody that love you and you just want to show them some love or show them some support or whatever it may be, man, do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't stop. Don't
wait for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Don't wait till Valentine's Day, but it's a lot of women out here that who want that Valentine's Day shit. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever the situation may be, including this the big one. It's a lot of people out here who want that Valentine's Day love. And it's including those side pieces. those side pieces, they want it.
Pure sidism.
They want it. So this is the thing that's really crazy about it, is because Valentine's Day is a day that everybody celebrates, but now in today's day and age, it's more so of a holiday for side pieces.
Yeah.
They taking over.
Yeah. And that goes for men and women.
Yeah, both. For sure. That's why I said side pieces.
Yeah, it goes for, because a lot of people only think about the women when you say side pieces. They don't think men are side pieces too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's more geared towards. I wouldn't say more geared towards, but maybe the day after Valentine's Day.
That's the holiday though. That's the real national holiday. Is the day after.
No, it's not.
For everybody else, it is. They don't look at you. You like, no, it's not. What you want your look? You want your credit.
You walk in here without no flowers.
See, you want your credit, but it's a lot of chicks that's like,
your credit.
You want your Valentine's Day. See what I mean? But for real, to be honest with you though, it's a lot of people out here who really just don't care about other people having relationships.
No.
Like, they don't care at all. They don't care.
I think that if you're dating, like in the dating scene, if you're dating and you're dating multiple people, it's like that person has a main person and then they are dating other people. Like, and sometimes, like you said, a lot of people don't care because a lot of people don't want the responsibility of being in a relationship. This is before being engaged and being married. Just the fact of being in a relationship, like, I don't want you checking up on me, calling me, seeing what I'm doing. I don't want to have to be, figuring out like, well, dang, he wanted to go on a date, but I wanted to kick it with my girls. And like, they don't want to be called and stuff like that all the time. So a lot of people, side pieces are happy with where they are.
Because the thing is at the end of the day, they just like to just be able to move around.
Exactly.
That freedom of just not. But see, this is the thing. This is where it gets mixed up at, though. A lot of the side pieces that's going on, like, I know dudes who side pieces, and they proud side pieces. They don't care. But then they be having the nerve to be catching feelings
Oh no, you can't. They don't go together.
You can't be out here catching feelings and you a side piece and you playing like a HOH.
Ooh, what's a HOH?
Oh, you know what a HOH is.
I know, but I want you to say it. And
You
then
know
drop
what a
the
HOH
bomb.
is. You know, no, it ain't even a HOH. Can we give it a HOH?
Oh my
No,
god.
we're going to call it a HWH.
HWH.
We're going to call it a hoe with a heart.
You cannot be a hoe and have a heart.
That's the problem.
Gotta be heartless.
A lot of them out here playing crazy, acting like they don't care
And like that, yeah.
on they city girl / city boy
Oh
shit.
my goodness.
Out here acting like JT
Living
and them.
double lives on social media, talking about fuck that nigga, fuck that bitch, but then like, I've been trying to call you.
Why you ain't answering?
Why you ain't answering?
Oh,
I
it's
wanna
Valentine's
see
Day, so
you.
I can't see you
I'm
today.
about to see you. What the?
Come on, nah, we
I
can't
miss
be out here.
you.
Look, see, that's that thing that I'm saying. Like our culture is so
Culture is
crazy. Like
backwards.
you see chicks that's really and dudes that's really out here like putting on. Like I know dudes who like literally like. And shout out to, you know, whatever they got going on, but I'm going to expose y'all. I know dudes who will take money from their baby mama or their girl or whoever and go spend it on a side chick. And vice versa.
That is crazy.
And vice versa. You'll see a chick driving around in her dude's car and come pick one of my dudes up in it and be riding around.
Jesus.
Like it ain't nothing.
Where they do that at?
Man, listen. Where they do that at?
Where they do that
In
at?
Cleveland.
Oh my
in
God.
every other city, like it don't make them no
The
difference.
dating scene is treacherous.
Oh man, it's trench warfare.
Treacherous.
Man, what the dating scene? But you know what? The dating scene has been. I think the dating scene for people has been trash since social media exploded to what it was.
That's true. That is so true. Because a lot of my girlfriends who are single, they'll call me and they'll talk about their situations and ask for advice. And I'm over here sitting like, oh my God, why do y'all go through that? Like,
It blow
how?
your brain.
It's mind blowing.
It'll blow
It's
your
mind blowing.
brain.
And I'm just like, oh no. I mean, we have our like marital issues, but I would never want to ever.
But see, the thing is it's so crazy because they put so much into it, and that's just because everything that's out here that's pushed. Like you got to think, if you turn on the radio right now, everything you gonna hear is about. It's the standard that's created, and on social media, it's the standard that's created that makes everybody feel like whatever they have is inadequate.
Yes, that's
like
so
it don't
true.
matter what car. You know, you could be riding in your car and you got a nice car and you rolling and you clean and you feeling yourself, and then a car pull up next to you and you be looking like, dang, I can't wait till I get out this car. No, I want that. Like we have an insatiable appetite, and this instant gratification thing that everybody wants. So it's like, you see it in a video, and then when you see it in that video, you want it. You want to do it. You want to go there. You want to try it. You want to buy it. And it's just like, calm, slow down. Like, take a minute. Let's look around. Let's take in some air of what's going around around
is
us.
Even a smart decision.
Yeah, like, because people, that's the thing. Like, some chicks will see, like, okay, for example, I don't know what they got going on, but based off of what's in the media, you got like Lil Baby and his girl or whatever. Like everybody always in their business.
Always.
And everybody quick to throw him under the bus or speak on him or throw his girl under the bus and speak on her for what she putting up with and you know what they wouldn't put up with and all of this, but they be going through the same scenarios at home.
And that's the crazy part, because it's just like majority of the people that comment on these celebrities' lives is just like a lot of women or men have stayed in situations worse than what is being told to public in the media about someone's relationship. Just like, so how dare you say she's stupid, she's dumb for staying with him? Oh, she's only there for the money. Granted, money has, probably does have a lot to do with it.
Oh, for sure.
Because she's living a comfortable lifestyle. But then, like, when she had taken the picture, she's like, I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce. I mean, hell, who wouldn't?
Oh, right.
Like, the fact, anybody would rather cry in a Rolls Royce.
That joint probably come equipped with Rolls Royce,
than an 86
tissue,
Honda or
all type of shit. But see, the thing is, though, is
a
it's crazy because people will say stuff like that, and people, and I feel it though. It's like, whatever. If you're gonna feel pain, at the end of the day, money don't buy happiness, but it sure can make you happy at the moment. It won't buy happiness, but it can make you feel good. So at the end of the day, like you people be quick to speak on their situation and speak on what they got going on. And only thing I'm gonna say is it's crazy because all the females, well, I ain't gonna say all the females because I don't know. But a lot of those females that was talking crazy about whatever they got going on, I'm going to get a shout out to them. Because you want to know why? Shout out to all the females that talk crazy on her, but slid in his DMs later on that day. Now, he probably can't even read his DMs. It's probably so packed he don't have time to look at it.
Them be the ones.
Man, what? The one I seen a post. It was like a girl say something about how cute you are, and then later on that day, follow your dude.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's dudes that's like that too.
Yes,
like, it's treacherous out here.
It is
treacherous out here, and they don't care.
It is.
Like, people just out here moving ruthless, and I feel like COVID helped push that to a level of.
Well, wait, before you get on that though, because I was going to make a point about the City Girls and Megan Thee Stallion, because they have a lot of these women out here wanting to live the lifestyle that they rap, but they're boo loving. I mean, they, Young Miami, she's in her relationship with that producer guy. Megan Thee Stallion's been in relationships. Hell, we not even gonna get on to her and the Tory Lane situation.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
JT, she's been in her relationships. So it's like they all boo loving, but this goes back to what I said earlier. People rap about what sells, so they know that they're gonna get streamings from people streaming their music and rap about, because girls like, oh yeah, I want to live that lifestyle, but they laid up what they do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Getting pregnant,
for sure.
Trying to get engaged, be married. So it's just like,
But see, that's back to, like I said, it's just that aspect of rap or music or movies. It's like they just selling something for entertainment.
Yes.
But people just cannot separate entertainment from reality. They just really will sit there and suck that up and feel like this is real. Like, no. Like, if you listen to an old NWA album, they all got about 100 bodies of people they done killed.
Yeah.
Everybody would be in jail for the next 12 decades. It's impossible. Like, it don't happen that way, and it didn't happen that way. But it's entertaining to rap about it like it did. And then these females, some of them may have did some of the stuff that they talking about. With the whole, get money out of dudes and whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, a lot of them came out and actually admitted that they did it. So
sure.
I think a lot of women, just going back to Lil Baby and his girlfriend, I think a lot of women were upset with her because she was one of the girls she was one of the ones on social media portraying this city girl image, but she was boo loving. So when this situation came out, they're like, why would you stay with him? And like, I could just read the comments.
But what's crazy though? It may not be a fake. She may really be out here living like a city girl. That's why she like, I don't care what this nigga do.
Yeah, she may.
So who knows though?
I don't know. She's hurt. I mean, any woman, see, that's the thing.
Any woman, any man. That's the thing, man. People be thinking like dudes put on this act. Oh, don't come on,
they
man.
do. I didn't disagree with you.
Dudes
I did not disagree.
Yeah,
with
right,
you.
right. What I'm saying is, dudes put on this act like they Teflon Don. They could take 1,000 shots. Man, listen here. You'll get that phone call and your boy be hooping and hollering on the phone. You'll think his mama died. You like, what happened? What's going on? and it'd be because
She
he
left
done.
me.
I done went through her phone. And I
left
done
me.
come like man, dudes is just as vulnerable. But you know what? I think it just takes a lot to get people to finally buckle down and really know what they want. Like
Yeah.
once somebody really sees what they want and understand what they want, then that allows them to start to move in that direction and mold themselves to, because the thing is you never want to mold yourself in the appearance of what somebody else wants,
Absolutely.
but you always want to mold yourself in a way where it's like, I'm giving this because this is what I would expect back.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, you can never move according to what you feel like you should get. But if you like, hey, I'm giving it all up right here. I'm being all the way 100 because you want that. So if it's like, hey, it don't work out, only thing you can say is I put all 100 of me into it.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I can't blame myself for that not working because I gave it all, regardless of whatever it is. It could be, you know, your music, your relationship, your job, your career, like your children, whatever. You know, if you put it all of you into it, that's just what it is. And speaking of that, just with the notion of giving it all up into those relationships and stuff, we gave the opportunity for some of the $1 Million Dose family, our extended family, to you know, just send us some comments about some stuff that, or topics that they wanted to hear, questions that they wanted to ask, or, you know, just points that, you know, were some things that were on their minds at that point. And I just wanted to take a time to, as I said before, our nation right now is at this point where they want that attention. So I just wanted to let some people let their voice be heard on this platform. And I think one of your people hit up with a good one.
Yes. My good friend Paige, she sent a message and she said, "Can you all talk about being submissive? I want to ask your husband, at what point did he feel you submitted to him?" I was hesitant about even telling you. No, seriously. And then I want to know, what did he do to make you submit to him? So I'll let you answer that first part, and then
Let me answer
I'll
the first part.
piggyback on the second.
When you became submissive, or what? Well, you know, I'll answer with,
At what point did you feel I submitted to you?
that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Because my wife is stubborn. Stubborn. It's a great quality when it comes down to really digging in and getting something done, because she can push me beyond anybody that I know that can push me. Outside of like my mama, you know, shout out to you, my Dukes. You know, you could always get up under my skin and light a fire under my ass.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, she can push me in a way that it's psychological warfare. It's not even like, you know, it's that thing where it's like, you sit there and you like, did I disappoint her today? Did I not put my best foot forward? Did I not put all into it? Did I not shine the way I was supposed to shine for my family unit? Like, it's that kind of thing where it'll make you think. Now, as far as submission, that's a hard one, because my wife is, like I said, she's stubborn. It's things that I know that you could tell she will give way on. Like, she'll kind of let the ropes go a little bit to be like, oh, you know, well, we talked about this. But usually when those conversations happen, like, oh, we talked about it. Like, we'll have a full conversation of what we're going to do. And then the next day she'll do something opposite. And I'll be like, well, that's not what we came up with. Well, you know, so the submission part is a little difficult.
Well, let me help you out a little bit, because a lot of people.
I thought that was my answer.
No, it is your answer, but let me just say, a lot of people think submission is do what your husband says, whatever he says goes. Like, a lot of people think that's submission. There's ways that you can submit to your husband without him having to say, I want you to do this, or I need you to do this, and stuff like that. Like, for me, like for us, for instance, if we're out in public and, you know, we're in a situation where you're, you know, communicating with somebody and it gets a little crazy, or it's, you know, not crazy, but you're communicating with somebody, and as a wife, I know my role, and okay, I'm not even going to involve myself in that situation. I'm going to step back. Or if I'm getting into a situation, like when we had parked my car in front of our garage, and somebody had called to have it towed. It was craziness.
Right.
And I went outside. My husband went outside, and he's going off on the tow people. And I come outside, rah, 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 mad. And my husband's like, I got this. Go in the house. And in that moment, even though I was so upset and I wanted to get my point across, I submitted to him saying, I got this. Go in the house. So there's different ways that you can submit to your husband without it having to be, I tell you what to say, you do what I say,
right,
and I'm the head of this house, what I say goes. And that also comes with learning your partner and doing what's best for your marriage.
For sure. I mean, those are definitely good points. As far as like what submission is, or what your definition of submission is, or different forms of submission.
There's different forms.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always different forms of submission, but like I said, in those situations, yeah, it has been times where, it's a situation going on or something, and it's like, hey, you know, chill out, or go sit in the car, or go back in the house, or whatever. I got this, or just be quiet. And it's not like in no bossy manner or nothing. It's just that sometimes like something could be happening, and it'll be happening fast, and my wife lives in the moment of what's happening, and she's not even looking at the full picture of what possibly could be about to happen. And it could be something going in our way, and she may not see it going in our way, and to start speaking, I'll be like, chill out. Yeah. I got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me do what I'm doing. And, you know, it's been times we done been in the store or something, and like somebody done gave us a price or something. Then I say a different price. And in the past, she's be like, no, he said, and I'll be looking like, well, why would you? We just got a better price. Why would you, you know? So it's like stuff like that. Now, as far as like submission, as far as like in the household, things like that, it's difficult in this day and age to really get a full definition of submission, or how you feel submission is, because we too alpha egos at the end of the day. So that I feel like with a lot of our stuff, that's why we bump heads too, because we both gonna go out and get it done, and we both want to show that our way works. So a lot of things is, in this day and age, with millennials, you have women who just strive for greatness, and they push for greatness, and they achieve greatness. So you can't really have that old school stereotype of like, you stay at the house.
Yeah, because back then, a lot of submissive women were housewives.
Yeah,
the husband would go out and work, bring in the check. The wife stay at home, take care of the kids, clean the house, cook, all of that. So, but now we're in the day and age where women like myself are getting up, going to work. Same as a guy. We both working full-time jobs. We both running businesses. We both got to take care of the kids. So it leaves no room for that submissive part. But I think as we continue to grow in marriage, I recognize points within our marriage where I allow you to take lead, you know what I'm saying, and say, okay, I need to step back. But in the beginning, it was difficult because, like you said, being a woman who is so goal driven, I was afraid that, oh my gosh, if I let him take lead on this. Where we gonna end up and all types of stuff.
Right.
So I always wanted to be in control of the situation. So giving up that control was my form of submission a little bit.
And you know what? I think, and with you, sometimes it's not even really as much as being goal oriented. It definitely is. Like, you very, very goal oriented, but you are also particular as far as controlling situations. So like, if a situation is out of your control where you can't get it or manipulate it the way that you want it to, it will drive you crazy. Like, to the point where like your mood changes, your conversation changes, you'll go somewhere off to yourself. If you can't get something to work out exactly the way that you want it to at that moment, then it just bugs the shit out you. Like, if you want to, like the other day when we was doing we was on the computer and it wasn't going through, I'm just like, okay, we'll just call tomorrow. We'll figure out, maybe the system is just, and she literally just sat there and kept doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until she figured it out, because it drives her nuts, because she's like, I want to do this right now and nothing's going to stop me from doing this right now. So in this day and age, like, you can't really, because, and then another thing is when you have two people that's out handling business and pushing what they got to push to feed their family and trying to conquer the world on the outside, it's hard to, when you come in, to take that shield and that sword and lay it down. Sometimes you walk straight into your bedroom with it. Yeah. Like, you still ready for war like you was outside the house. Yeah. Like, sometimes you don't even realize you still got that savage hat on at that moment until, you know, finally it takes that mental thought that's like, oh, I'm tripping. Like, why? I don't even know why this bothered me or why I'm upset about this or why, you know, sometimes we don't even realize, like, before I decided to walk away from my position and stuff like that, even before that, like, she's the type that we told her, like, hey, you know, I'm gonna work, you could be at home with the kids, but she had a business as well that she was trying to grow. So my thoughts were, hey, I'm gonna be grinding out at the job. I'm working 16, 20-hour days every day of the week almost. I'm not seeing them, nobody. I'm just full pedal to the metal. And I'm thinking she's at home just being a stay-at-home mom with the kids, this, that, and the third. But she at home just putting tires straight to the road every single day. Working, grinding.
Hauling the boys to the office.
Exactly. Like, and that's just the way it is. So it just makes it, you know. And then what I had to realize, too, was you get into this sense of dominance as a male, where you had these ego moments. Like, where sometimes your ego will eat you alive, where it's like, why she not just riding with what I said? Or why she just like, if this gonna crash and burn, then we gonna crash and burn together, but we gonna do it this way. And I think a lot of that had to do with, too, because of, number one, my background, growing up where I grew up at, a lot of stuff that we ran into, a lot of stuff that we did. Like, it wasn't really a lot of talking things out and stuff. Like, it was either we gonna have words about it. Now, after we didn't have words, if these words continue, I'm not gonna keep talking. We gonna fight or what? Like, so it puts you in that mind state of that.
When you was what are you talking about? Me and you?
No, I said growing up.
Oh, I was gonna say what?
Yeah, you're not listening.
I'm listening.
Pay attention.
You kind of took me to the left with that.
I said growing up where I grew up at. No, I'm not talking about you. But like, that's just the aspect of why I feel like a lot of times with men, me particularly, the ego and the dominance factor, and then especially when I started working like in corrections and stuff, like it was no time for nonsense. Like, if it was gonna go, it was gonna go. When something was happening and you had to go in there and alleviate a situation or get on the floor to break up a fight, or somebody then swung, like all type of crazy stuff going on. Like, you don't have time to sit back and be like, well, let's talk this out. Why? What's going on? Stop punching him. Why? You know, it's just straight 100 miles an hour. So a lot of times I felt like she would come home with her CEO boss hat on, and I would come home with my CO boss hat on, like, you know, so it was just like, okay, I'm gonna come home, and after so long, it's like, hey, why I gotta keep asking this, or why this not this, or why this not that? And then you would be like talking as if you talking to an employee sometimes. And I used to be like, who in the hell? Like, you better go somewhere with that shit. Like, you better take that back up to the office. Like, we ain't, but we just learned how to.
I was just gonna say, is learning how
Navigate
to
through that.
navigate, and then learning how to turn that on and off. Where you can't always be the CEO. You can't always be, you know, the boss. Both of us can't be boss at the same time.
Right.
You know, you have to learn each other as you grow. And I mean, the one thing that I took, because when we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of married people to look up to when we were younger. So our marriage is really just figuring it out on a whim.
Right.
And figuring out what works for us. So I would just, if I had to give advice to anybody, it's just figuring out what works for your marriage.
Right.
You cannot duplicate your marriage based off of what you see on TV, what you see on the movies, because everybody wanted to be Dr. Huxtable and Claire Huxtable.
Oh yeah, what happened?
With a bunch of kids. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
So you have to do what works for you. And I think for me is knowing, like, a lot of the moments where I know about being submissive is when we're going out. Oh, I'm just like, wherever my husband lead me, that's where we going. You know, he's my protector. I'm not about to veer too far away from him, or, you know what I'm saying, where he's in orange route so he can see me. Like, I'm always just following his lead, because you always, you know, that protection and that security, like just having that security is so important to me. So.
And then, you know, something that's crazy that your uncle told me one time, and it made so much sense. And he just was like, well, you know, at the end of the day, you can't have two gangsters in the house. And I was like, damn. That's like, it makes so much sense. Like, you can't have two gangsters in the house at the same time. Like, two people can't be Don Corleone in the same territory at the same time. It's going to be times where you're going to be boss dog. It's going to be times where I'm going to be boss dog. It just is that leveling out process. So I hope that helps, at least with understanding, you know, understanding where to become submissive and when to become submissive.
And it's really not like a thing you can tell. It's just knowing your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Knowing each other and knowing when to take a step back and when to lead. Because there are moments where it may seem like he's taking the lead on something, but it's just based off of a conversation that we had, and it's like, okay, I think you should do this, and he'll be like, okay, cool, or vice versa,
right.
Where it's like, I think you should do this, and I'm like, okay, cool, and it's like, oh, he came up with that, or she came up, like, no, it's just knowing your relationship and knowing your partner. Because I mean, I don't know, I feel like I can't say every moment where I've been submissive, but it's just knowing those moments,
right.
It's like, okay, this is my husband. I trust him. I believe in him. Even though we've had some issues in the past where I'm like, oh my God, he did but even though after that, it was just still one of them things where it's just like, he still has our family, our best interests, our marriage, everything at heart. And I don't even feel comfortable moving anyway without me. And that was going to be my next point. I think what works in our marriage is you allow me to still move to pursue everything that I want to pursue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Instead of trying to put me in a box. A lot of marriages, I think spouses try to put each other in boxes. And I admire the fact that you still allow me to be me, move the way I move, handle the business that I handle, and still come home and still be your wife, the mother of your kids, and stuff like that.
And that's a big thing too, though. But at the end of the day, though, we still men, you know. So, you know, shout out to all my fellas, because, you know, we still gonna be men. We still want to beat our chest. At the end of the day, we ain't too well, I can't say all of us, but majority of us ain't too difficult.
Well, I'm
to
definitely
maneuver
submissive
around.
in the bedroom, so
Yeah, I mean, shout out to that for sure. Shout out to all the dudes that want an ego trip too.
I don't take a trip.
I'm gonna break the bomb button.
Even when I want to, you're like,
Yeah, we can't have that. You know what I'm saying? We can't have that. We can, but we can't have that.
Every now and then,
For sure.
sprinkling in a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure.
Like, nah.
But you know what though? A part of that also leads into just understanding, like, if you, like, when you decide to be submissive to that other person, you also got to understand that what they have to understand as much as you understand that it comes with non-negotiables. Mm-hmm. Like certain things where it's like, okay, I will, be submissive in this and do this and do that and follow in accordance to this is the way that this is supposed to be done, but ain't gonna be none of this shit and ain't gonna be none of that shit. Like that's the main thing. Like
right.
you got to always understand that it's gonna come with non-negotiables. So
Absolutely.
if she's setting up a sense of just finding herself out as far as being submissive and knowing when to be submissive, stand strong in your non-negotiables though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, stand strong in those boundaries that you make where you like, hell no, I'm not going for that shit. Stand strong in that, regardless of how submissive you want to be to your husband or your wife. If it's something that you like, not a day in hell am I gonna let that happen.
Absolutely.
Stand strong in that shit.
Absolutely.
I think that's the main thing too with a lot of people. They don't set those boundaries with non-negotiables.
No, I mean you have to. It's important. I know when before we got married and when we were dating, I didn't let up, and a lot of my non-negotiables as far as like being honest and open communication, like excuse me, those were important to me. Like, I don't care how hard it is to talk about. I want you to be honest about everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, those non-negotiables. That's really a good one because that's important.
Yeah, but the thing is honesty should be a non-negotiable around the board for everybody.
A lot of people can't be honest.
Like I just don't like honesty is just like the key to because at the end of the day, it's like, why bullshit around and give some weird ass answer or some weird situation that ain't really happened that you gonna forget later when they ask you, and then you like, oh shit, I forgot, I done told. Like, just be 100. The thing is like a lot of times, like in situations, even like in the dating scene for a lot of people and dudes, like I'm gonna speak directly to y'all, because what I realized, like just looking at social media and all the stuff that's going on, or world star hip hop and all of that, like the stuff you hear females saying, all that, they looking for the same shit you looking for. Like the same shit, but you come in the game playing crazy, like, oh no, I want a relationship. I want to find out more about you. I want this. I want that.
And
you really just want some ass.
Exactly, and that's
just
can't
say
be
that.
honest about it.
Just if you 100 and you come out and just say that, you may just get some ass with
and
no strings attached.
A happy life. Cause then now you don't have to feel like, man, I don't feel like laying up with her.
I gotta go over here and play house.
Yeah.
Her kids running around and shit. I gotta play all these. I gotta buy 100 chicken nuggets for Lil Ray Ray and them. No, it's like you ain't got to do none of that. Just keep it 100, man. Just all the way 1,000, man. Like if you just keep it that way, some things you may miss out on because honesty may just be like, okay, that ain't what I'm looking for. But at least you know, though.
Yeah, you have to be able to stand in what you want and being, as a non-negotiable. So it's just like you gotta what you want and don't veer from that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. It's like if this is what I want or this is how I want it to be, you're gonna have to stand in that because if you can't stand in it, you can't expect the person that you giving expectations to. And
that's the major thing is the honesty with self. Because some people so messed up in it, like they don't even know they self. And this was what's crazy about that. People be so twisted. Man, shout out to the people that don't know they self. Because y'all motherfuckers way too old. I mean, I understand you learning yourself every single day, but have a foundation on who the fuck you are.
A lot of people don't know themselves.
Like
A lot
no,
of people
to an
don't know
extent. Yeah, like
themselves.
no, to an extent. Like I still can surprise myself with some shit I do,
Yeah.
just like the next person. But at least have a foundation of like knowing who you are to an extent, because it gets you through those hard times so much better because you're not weak.
Yeah.
Like if you gonna fold, like if you fold into yourself, like if you can't be honest to yourself, how you gonna be honest to the outside world?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's impossible. Like it's so crazy. Like people that's not honest to themselves fall victim to where they create these individuals that they're not, where they get lost in
They
themselves.
get lost. Yes.
It's
And
like they professional
and
actors,
they can't even recognize the person that they're looking at in the mirror.
and they never come out of it.
Nope.
I know people. Man,
Who was the one actor? That.
oh, that killed himself.
Yeah. Was it Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said Christian Bale.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Situations like that.
I feel like once he played that Joker role, he went into a deep, deep spiral of depression, just playing that role of that depressed individual and got lost in it. I could be wrong. You know, it's real too. Mental health is serious. Like I got a close friend that you know, took his own life probably like 3-4 months ago. And it's a person that you would never expect it from. You know, so it's just like, as I said before, just knowing yourself, because us on the outside just looked at him as an individual that was so strong and so stubborn and such a go-getter. I mean, my man's was $100,000, like pushing. He showed us stuff that we ain't never, ever would think about doing or knowing how to do. Like, you know, he was just like one of the pioneers to do a lot of stuff when we was younger, just seeing him do it. And to get that nose is just like, oh no, it's no way in hell. Like, it's no way that's happening. It's no way that just happened. Like,
check on your strong friends.
Yeah, for sure. Check on all your friends. Like, because at the end of the day, you never know what an individual is going through. And you never know how honest and open they being with everybody as far as what their struggle may be. So just with the honesty thing, like you got to keep it 100. If you going through something, you just say you going through something. If you got a situation where you just not comfortable with the person that you dealing with, just say it. It may be something that they was doing, trying to conform to something that they thought you liked. And they like, good, you don't like that? Great. I've been trying to do that shit because I thought you liked. I ain't want to do that shit no way.
Yeah, and that's never gonna last.
No.
It's not gonna, like, it'll be cool in the beginning, but you gonna people get tired of that.
You can't walk around with that mask on all the time. Nah, you just can't. It's impossible to walk around with that mask on. Cause one of these days somebody gonna pull it off your face.
Yeah.
And you gonna get revealed. And when you get revealed, it's gonna be crazy for you, because at that point, if you don't know yourself, it's gonna be hard as hell to find yourself in that situation of ridicule.
Right.
It's gonna be terrible, you know. And what makes it funny about that is, this is what's funny about that. It's a lot of people out here that don't know themselves, but they still trying to change their partners.
Fucked up.
You trying to change somebody else?
It's so up.
How you acting like you had Build-A-Bear? You putting somebody together piece by piece by piece.
Stuffing and putting pieces together.
Like, why do people get in situations, men and women? Why do we get in situations and somebody reveals who they are? They show you who they are, and you think you gonna make them be something different.
Or you conform, you change who you are. Forget about knowing yourself. You change who you are to conform to who they are because you want it to work so bad.
Oh man.
Like,
and you know what? I understand it's some things that you gonna change about yourself.
But I'm talking about the ones you lose your morals, your values.
Oh yeah.
All of that. Like stuff that you would never put yourself through or say, oh, I would never do this, I would never do that, or I would never put myself in that situation. But you do, because you're going to be this person to make this person happy, because oh, you just want him to be around, or oh, you know, he or she's cool and we vibing right now.
Right. I mean, life is crazy because people like this podcast right here. The thing that makes it beautiful is that if we fuck up right now, I can go and edit it out and change it.
Right.
So when you see it, you never will know that it was a fuck up. You understand? In life, people try to edit other people. Like they literally try to piece the tracks together and make them into what they want them to be. And then it ends up a horrible situation because either one, the person changes some qualities about themselves to do that, and they become lost in themselves, where they become not envious, but they kind of resentful. Exactly. Like they just looking like, what, who, like, like I've seen a lot of situations or stories like where it'd be like a woman that stopped her career or something to, you know, be a stay-at-home mom, and she's sitting at home drunk every day, pissed off. Cause you know, you lose yourself. You lose yourself. You lose who you are. You lose your everyday grind that you had. So just like,
I know when we were dating, when we first started dating, I tried to change you early on a lot, and then I had to realize, I'm like, I guess I love him, so I guess I.
But see, that's the thing. The more and more you tried to change me, the more rebellious I came.
Yeah, no. And then I had to realize, like, what I loved about you is what, you know what I'm saying, what I was trying to change.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, and I feel like I was only trying to change you because I was moving so fast in my life, and I'm like, come on.
Right.
And you was just like, I'm chilling. Like, what's the rush?
But see, that's that timeline.
Come on.
That's that timeline. Women have a timeline.
Yes,
you know,
we do.
Number one, shout out to all the crazy women who fall in love with a dude for certain stuff that they like, and then want to change the things that they like.
Don't call me crazy.
Shout out to them. Like,
shout me out without calling me crazy.
Everything that attracted you be like, all right, I got to get rid of this. And then you look at something where you're like, I'm not even attracted to this motherfucker no more. Like, what did I like in the first place? Like, but you know what's crazy is, like, I understand now why it was such a rush for everything, because women have timelines.
Yes.
Like, they like, men, we just kind of be like, okay, like, why are we rushing to get married? Why are we rushing to have kids? Why we? And then it's just, one day as you sit down and you think about it, and you like, oh, like, I see why a woman to be like, I ain't have no kids at 40. I ain't getting married at 40. I ain't about to be sitting up there trying to take care of no 1-year-old and I'm 45 years old. Absolutely. It's women who do it though. Yeah. And shout out to them women who do it. For sure.
Who turn 50 and get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Janet Jackson.
She was 50?
She was 50. Bridget Nelson? Was it Bridget Nelson? The one that was on the Flavor Flav.
Janet Jackson was 50 when she had the baby?
Janet Jackson was 50 when she had her baby.
Shout out to them Jackson genes, man. They got a whole nother breed of blood going on over there. They breeding champions.
They a special kind of creature.
Man, listen, 50 years. But you know what, though? It be stories where you see stuff with women like overseas in India and shit, having Indian a baby at 70.
Yes, twins.
Yes. Come on now. Shout out for being 70 years old, still getting that irky jerky in. Like,
on menopause. And you still busting it down.
Like, not playing no games.
Bust it.
70 years old. That's crazy. Hey. But see, I understand though, because women literally have a timeline. Like, women have a timeline that and then it's also influenced, and not in a negative manner that I'm gonna say this, but it's also influenced around outside forces too though. Like with some women, if they at a certain point and they're like, well, I'm here in my career, I'm doing this, I'm doing that in my community, I don't have no kids, and everybody around me getting married. What is going on? Oh, that pressure will fall on your dude real quick. Because you'll be looking like, hey, you done playing house?
I have friends like that, and I'll tell them just before they even try to pressure they do, and I'll just blatantly tell them, like, you're not ready for this life.
Oh man,
You're not ready to be a wife. You're not ready to be a mom.
Man.
Like, because it's not just I have a kid and we take pictures and we dress them up and mommy and me, daddy
You want to
and
do
me
that shit?
outfits.
You better go get a dog.
Hello.
Cause look here.
Even with the dog though, it's like you still gotta
Man.
take care. So it's just like, no, you're not ready for this type of lifestyle. You're not ready.
It's crazy because at the end of the day, marriage and kids and all of that is such a life changer because it literally turns your world upside down. Like before marriage, I seen myself change.
Mhm.
Like from getting married, you know, and then going from marriage into like, well, I was fatherhood. Like,
yeah, and then
so
marriage.
yeah, like, so it's like you it's certain things that we don't even understand that biologically automatically change in us. That like it can change the way you view somebody else as well
Yes.
in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like when that mom instinct kicks in and it's like, okay, I'm a mom and you become super mama bear mode,
Mm-hmm.
you'll start to look at your husband or your wife in some scenarios.
Or family members. I think I wanted to growl. If I could growl, I would growl at everybody like
yeah, it's like
get away from my baby.
Exactly. And you it's just natural, like biologically it just changes in you.
Yeah.
Like with me, like I feel like I became more docile than I was ever in my life.
Mhm.
Like it just something switched in me to where biologically I had to inherit more patience.
Yeah.
Like I had to inherit not being as rough or aggressive or, you know, to be more understanding because pregnancy, oh man.
And I wasn't no quiet,
Oh
cute
man.
pregnant woman. I was snappy, moody, hungry.
I'm gonna drop every bomb
Angry.
we got, man.
Give me 4 bombs. Angry.
I don't even think it'll give you
Angry.
And shout out to the people who still make it work through those scenarios, though.
Absolutely.
Because it's
You did it twice.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you start to be with somebody and y'all look at each other and for moments y'all be like, who are you and why are you here?
That's so true.
Like, why?
That is true.
Like, it can go at the blink of an eye. You could come in and you could be the most loved person in the world. You done came in with, what was yours? Grits with extra butter and salt and all this extra. And she's just sitting there full sugar.
Salt,
Oh, yeah, sugar.
butter and sugar.
Yeah.
And let's just, sidebar, sugar go on grits. Don't nobody put cheese and salt.
I mean, salt go in there too, but
no,
we'll give you sugar with your
sugar and
country
grits.
ass.
You know that debate. It's been a long debate, but sugar on grits.
But like, it's crazy because like you'll come in and they'll love you. Like, oh my God, you just surprised me with grits and I wanted these. And she'll eat them and go straight to sleep and wake up and try to rip your head off.
I'm hungry. Why you give me no food?
You left your socks in the bathroom on the floor or something. And it's just like, what? So it's just like.
Or I'm just sitting there, can't breathe, feeling fat. And looking at you just with your feet propped up on the couch,
right?
Skinny.
I was fat as fuck when you was pregnant.
Yeah, no, the first time you was.
Yeah, I was fat as fuck.
And that's the thing. I was skinny. I didn't gain a lick of weight that much in my first pregnancy.
I was fat as fuck.
You got all the weight.
Yeah.
But it's just like I can't breathe. I feel so heavy, and you just moving so freely.
Yeah.
So freely.
We'd be walking through the mall or something. I used to be like, bring your big ass up. I used to be like, nah, I walk slow. But the pace that we was moving at when you was pregnant.
The waddle. I was always in pain.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've never carried that much weight. Yeah. It was a lot.
Man, shout out to them women carry babies Especially them ones that had twins and triplets and quadruplets and all
Yeah.
that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Man, y'all the real champions. Y'all the MVPs for that though. Y'all the real MVPs.
Any woman who's
man.
carried a child is an MVP.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most
Regardless of the outcome, you are a real MVP.
Most definitely. Cause at the end of the day, I don't care who you is. You could be Mike Tyson, toughest motherfucker on the planet. I can't think of nobody else who's, the Rambo, the whatever fictional character. Ain't no nigga carrying no baby.
No. Or going through labor.
Nah. That shit ain't happening. No. I get gas and I be thinking I'm about to die. My stomach be hurting so bad. I be on the floor praying and shit.
Oh, can you rub my stomach? Please, oh my God. My stomach hurts so bad.
My stomach be killing me. My stomach be killing me, man.
Oh my God. And I'm here. I'm like, you feel better yet? You feel better yet?
But shout out to all the women that make that
Gotta
happen,
play
man.
nurse and doctor.
And they do.
And no nothing be wrong with the men. Hit that bomb.
But see, you know what? I give you a bomb for that. I give you a bomb for that. But you know what's crazy though? I feel like a lot of that comes from I feel like men are babied and the growing up years.
Yeah.
Childhood. Mama's gonna baby the shit out them boys.
Yes, that's true.
Like baby the shit out them boys. They make more warriors out of women, especially black women.
I know.
They make warriors out of them young.
Yeah.
Like y'all come out certified gladiators,
Yeah.
ready for the world.
Yep.
And we be at home living our best damn life. Like when I was in high school and stuff,
Not a
like
care in the world.
yeah, like when I was in high school, it was just like, oh, you staying out of trouble to an extent and you playing sports, that's cool with me. My sisters was grinding,
Discipline.
A+++ students taking
Dancing.
college classes in high school. They was out doing they career with dance and ballet and all that shit. And I was like, man, look, I was out kicking it, running up and down the streets, all type of stuff. And they had to carry they self a total different way than I did, as far as with respect and everything. And I just was out here wilding. So like, I think that's probably why men, we are the way that we are. Like, don't get me wrong, we forge through fire though, as we get older.
And a lot of that has to do with the household dynamics, because women who are single moms who are raising boys, they already know how hard it is, how hard it's going to be for their son in the world. So instead of being hard on them in the household, they try to scale back a little bit and soften them up, but that's not preparing them for the world, because when they get out in the world, they're not adaptable to the toughness and the grit and stuff like that the world has to offer. Right. It's just a lot of single moms are raising men out here.
Yeah. And it's crazy because that's hitting it right on the point, because I think that's why our dynamic is the way that it is a lot of times. Like when we dealing with our boys, we have two separate, totally different approaches. Like, so at times, like you may look at me like, oh, he's like a military drill sergeant, like they kids, let them breathe. But then I understand, like, the world not gonna let you breathe.
Absolutely.
So you gotta have some chill to yourself.
Absolutely.
Everything can't be at your fingertips. Like we was talking today while we out eating, my son just living his best life. 4 years old. He got the phone right here. I'm talking about he go through apps. 4 years old, he going through apps looking for TV shows. Like he be like, I want to watch
movies.
HBO Max. No, I'm going to Hulu.
Netflix,
No, I'm gonna go to
Prime,
Netflix.
Sling.
Now I'm on Prime, and then I'm getting alerts that this boy done spent $40, $50 on my card ordering movies and shit. And it's just like he's sitting there, little G-Shock watch on, pressing the buttons on his watch, going back to the phone, eating mozzarella sticks. And I'm like, who the hell is this little monster?
Juice, eating his fries.
I'm like, who is this monster sitting at the table with us?
Yep.
And but see, that's that thing, like, it'd be times I know for a fact, like, if it wasn't both of us, like, it'd be times where it'd be like, hell no, go sit down. Go in there, go draw. Go do the no TV, no this, no that. But it's because we have a dynamic where we feed off each other a lot of times, where it's just like, okay. And I will say this, you baby them a whole lot more than me.
Yeah, I do. And I think too, a lot of the times women, we always try to say, oh, I don't want my son to be a crybaby. I don't want my son to get all that crybaby ish and da da da. But that's not teaching your child, your son's vulnerability. I want my kids to be able, or my sons to be able to express how they feel.
Right.
If you feel like crying, cry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to be out in the world, I'm not gonna cry because crying's for wimps. I'm not gonna, like, no.
But it's a time and a place for everything.
There is a time and a place
so
for everything.
I want them to feel like, hey, men cry. Like, shit, I cry if I got to in the heartbeat. Feel that emotion.
Don't go through the world emotionless.
But the thing is let that emotion drive you instead of crying. Instead of crying, though, take that emotion and put it as a fire under your ass to do something with it.
But it also teaches them to recognize the emotion and when to be able to show that emotion.
Right.
You know, and control their emotions.
Right.
If you teach somebody not to cry, not to feel anything, they're going to be mad and angry all the time. You know, but if you teach them, okay, it's okay to cry. Like when our son cries, he'll cry because his tablet died. And we'll ask him like, well, do you have to cry about it?
Right. All I ask him, are you hurt?
Yeah. And we'll ask him like, do you have to cry about it? Then he's like, well, no, I don't have to cry.
Then he stop.
Express how you feel.
Right.
You don't have to cry about it.
I just be like, dude, are you hurt? Did it hurt you?
Find a solution.
Yeah.
Problem solving.
Right.
Find a solution. Just put it on the charger. You don't have to cry because it's going to charge and you can play it again.
Right.
So it's just teaching them those type of things.
And and that's something that I think is big, and like I said, in the black community as well, because and I feel like that's probably why a lot of black men move in the ways that we do, is because our culture has always frowned on certain aspects of just getting help or therapy, talking to somebody, or just opening up and saying like, hey, I'm going through this, or I'm going through that,
I'm not okay.
Like, because we number one, we go through a point where our moms baby us, and then when our moms let us out into the world gonna see that your mom babied you, and they gonna run all over your shit. They like sharks. They're like, oh, they done dropped this little chump in the water. Like, he in our water now.
The baby.
Yeah, and they love it. They like it, and they turn you into what they want you to be.
Yeah.
That's why in jail and all type of situations, even out in the streets, like, you got all these crash dummies. Like, you sending people on missions to do stuff, and they just crash outs because they want to be a part of something. So they ain't never been taught to know they self and be they self.
It's so sad.
Yeah. And Cleveland going through it bad right now, man. I hate to see the way my city be looking at times. Cause you see stuff and you just be like, sometimes you just don't even want to turn on the news, or don't want to look at like the Cleveland Remembrance page and stuff like that, cause you always gonna mess around and run into see somebody that's close to you or close to somebody you know, and it's just like, why?
So crazy, I know.
And it's messed up, man. And I just hope that this platform will help bring people together and help give people a voice to be able to speak out against the stuff that goes on, or give them a voice to be able to just voice their opinion and open up and say, hey, this is what's going on. Because we got to be together as a nation, and that's not like just a black thing, but black, white, brown, yellow, blue, purple, green, whatever you are. We just got to be together. We got to be united, you know.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, no human is made to be by themselves or to do everything alone. Like, that's why society is made. Like, it's built off the backs of everybody coming together, putting a collective effort forward and making that shit work. So I definitely want, to see that happen and see everybody come together. I feel like that's one of the reasons how we got to where we at now. Just understanding the struggle and going through multiple different ideas and strains and things of knowing how to feed each other life.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
always dreaming.
Yeah.
We have a board in our room, and I put quotes up there. It's like our manifestation board. We manifest what we want and things like that. And whatever you desire to have in life, you can have that. You will have that. You just
Right.
have to continue to move forward. Like Blake said, through the struggles and us knowing where we came from
Mhm.
and sitting in that process or sitting in the struggles, because it makes sitting where we are today
Mhm.
so much better, because it wasn't given to us.
Right,
We had to
right.
work hard for it, and it's
Mhm.
humbling.
Mhm.
It's so humbling.
Mhm. Just knowing the background of it, like,
Mhm.
you know, just me and her meeting at 13 in high school, ripping and running around playing sports, going through a situation where we were separated at one point because, you know, me being who I am with
Took
school.
a petty pill.
I took a petty pill my whole high school career and just was outrageous, and went to 4 different schools
Yeah, you did.
through expulsions and everything else all through high school. Her still pushing, you know, to go to college and play college ball, stuff like that. Me just still being, you know, who I am, grinding on a day-to-day basis, where I was just somebody where it's like, I'm never going to be a lay down person. I'm always going to have money. I'm always going to do this. I'm always going to do that. But then staying connected, you know, reaching out
Always.
to you like, hey, what's up? Woo, 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 you know.
Always connected.
Yeah, like never giving up on that. And then knowing that we had dreams. I mean, we were talking about dreams of opening up strip clubs and restaurants and all this stuff back when we was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
and even though it didn't happen yet, the fact that we was dreaming,
oh yeah.
the fact that we said, okay, this is what we want our life to look like.
Right.
Like, we're not going to be comfortable where we are.
For sure.
You know, because we were both in between jobs. I mean, even we said on the last episode, we were in, on food stamps.
Pushing.
Excuse me, we stayed in 2 studio apartments. But the connection and, you know, the dreaming and the pushing each other to always pursue our goals. You know, there were times where you didn't believe you can get a job because you were systematically programmed to
right.
think that you only had, or you was only capable of working in a warehouse. And then that was just me saying, like, what are you talking about? You're very intelligent. Like, you,
Right.
so pushing each other to pursue and supporting
Yeah.
each other through everything.
Right, right. And then understanding each other's strong points and weaknesses. I mean, we went through situations where it put us to the ultimate test, you know, and God willing, like, I done came out with my life. I'm alive. Situations that happen where, you know, we just look back at it like, how the hell did we get there? How did we do this? But then it was also a lot of good that came from situations. Like, we had opportunities to do a lot of things and met a lot of people throughout our life.
Definitely.
Just, you know, us moving through life and embarking on an everyday grind the way that we did. Just the people that we run into out anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, traveling out of town, like, I'm talking about, we done met people that ain't got so cool with us. Like, we was in Jamaica. We had a couple trying to get us to come back to Canada just to kick it, have fun, like, just the vibe. We was on the plane, and I was so scared. I wasn't even sitting next to my wife. But because I built this relationship with this couple, I didn't like flying, y'all.
So funny.
I didn't even know these 2 people. Like, a couple that I've never seen in my life or had ever talked to on the plane ride. We going to Jamaica, and I was so spooked. Like, they held my hands.
In the middle seat.
I sat in the middle of a couple, and it was a white couple. That's what's so crazy. Like, it was people like you would have never thought we would have meshed in life at all, but just our aura and our spirits bring people around that you normally wouldn't. Going through our vlog, like building our family vlog with Mobbing with the Millions.
Yes.
Building up the studio area, like, you know, just coming up with the ideas of, like, I'm gonna do a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, just pushing, grinding, buying piece by piece until finally
it came together.
you got this. God damn.
Shout out to you. Shout out to
you.
me.
Because
Shout out
it
to
came
us.
together. It
Who we
came
gonna
together.
be?
It came together. Like, I remember getting my first piece of equipment, you know, buying my first mic. Like, it was insane, the feeling that you get.
Proud moment.
Buying the first camera, walking around vlogging. We in San Diego recording with the kids and just like don't even know what we doing. Just having fun behind the camera. Like, just really just
on the whim. We just decided that day.
Man,
we went
what?
to Best Buy, got that camera and that fidget gidget thing.
Yeah, it was like one of them Omni.
And recorded in the hotel. Started and recorded in the hotel that first day.
Yeah, and literally shot our family vlog on a cell phone.
Yeah,
I ain't never had a computer. Well, I ain't gonna say computer. I ain't never had a bit of editing skills ever in my life.
Shout out to YouTube.
Shout out to YouTube. I feel like I these episodes, I edit these and put these together, and they may not be the best, but
you did it.
I'd be grinding. I'd be grinding. Like,
but you have that mindset where it's in because you believe this is your baby.
Yeah.
If you believe in it, you're gonna figure it out.
For sure.
And that's gonna be another thing as you continue to grow your brand and your companies. It's just like you self-taught.
Yeah.
You're going to be teaching
For
your
sure.
interns and assistants and stuff
For sure.
how to do it in this like classes, media school.
And shout out to everybody who just support that just stay. You know what's crazy? Really, oh man. This right here is going for everybody that don't even know us.
That's true.
It's crazy. Like, I just started social media like last month for the first time ever in my life.
I don't even think it's been a full month.
Yeah, I get more support from people that I don't even know.
That's good.
That send me DMs and all of that stuff daily, pushing me. Shout out to them. Because they don't even know me and they not getting nothing from it or anything. They just enjoying the show.
People recognize good content.
Yeah, for sure. But I recognize what they got going on too, though. And I just be like, man, and I ain't gonna forget. Somebody did ask me for a breakdown of equipment. I'm gonna do a short one and let y'all know, but I'm gonna do a separate little video and probably throw it up on the YouTube channel, breaking down everything that I have as far as equipment, because it's not a lot, but we got enough going on that we make it happen. And shout out to them people that even interact with the page. And I got something for y'all because we're going to be closing out this episode. We're going to close it out on a high note because I'm feeling myself right now.
Ooh,
for sure.
Feeling myself.
I didn't.
I'm feeling myself.
I didn't boost us up just this whole conversation. And I hope that I boosted some people outside of here up, just letting them know, like, hey, you can do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have a lot.
Absolutely.
You can start out with nothing. Just start.
We started out with nothing.
Yeah, but you got to start.
But
you can't win no race without actually getting in the blocks.
Yes.
And start running.
And you have to have you don't have to have them, but having a strong support system is important too. Because we had a very strong support system behind us, our family,
and we
our
still
parents,
do.
and we still do. Yeah, and we still do. Our parents and our family, we have a very strong support system that continues to see our goals and our dreams and push us beyond what we could even imagine. So,
and you know what? We're gonna be doing by the next episode. I'm really hoping that some of the hats will be in. We're gonna do a giveaway to some of the $1 Million Dose family out there. I ain't gonna call y'all fans. We're gonna call y'all family because we are family.
We are family.
So, it's going to be things that qualify y'all for a giveaway. I do have one hat, though, it's not connected to the $1 Million Dose brand or anything like that, but it's just going to be a family giveaway. Something just, from us to give to somebody else. Nice little Pro Standard hat. I mean, you could do with it as you will. If you're from Cleveland, I know you're really gonna love it. If you're not, it's red and you'll enjoy it.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's a nice
So
hat.
we got a nice hat right here that I purchased. So we're gonna be going ahead and it's gonna be a giveaway. It's a pro standard, genuine leather all around the top. We got the back with the leather strap, the pro standard pins and everything on there. Still tag and everything on there.
If you got a big head like me, it may not be comfortable.
Oh, you can make it work. She just gotta. Oh,
Don't you shut up.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But it's super dope. What's gonna qualify? Okay, so we gonna say the person who gets that can post us, give us a post and a story with the best caption of this episode.
Oh, that's a good one.
Best caption that we see. Tag us in your post, tag us in your story, give it a good caption. And then we gonna link information and we're gonna get this out to you.
Send you the hat.
We're gonna send this out to you. And then hopefully on our next episode next week, we'll have some $1 Million Dose merch. I just didn't want to send y'all out of here empty handed though. So we're gonna make sure we look out for y'all with something. But like I said, hopefully everything is completed with that. And we could get some of that merch out. And then we're gonna have merch on our online site as well that's under construction. So y'all can start looking out for that stuff. So once again though, thank y'all for sitting in.
Thank you.
We enjoyed it. We got through another episode. I hope y'all got through another episode. This was good.
I enjoyed myself. I had fun again.
This was therapeutic.
It's very, very,
You know?
and I hope it was helpful and answered a lot of the questions that you all sent us. So
Yeah,
hope we answered your questions. But thank you, and then we'll see you guys the next episode.
We sure will. So once again, we're gonna send y'all out with much love from the $1 Million Dose family. Everybody stay safe out there. Stay strong. Like I said before, this episode was called Love Starved. We hope we gave some love to y'all today. We hope we filled your hearts, filled your brains, filled your bellies with laughter. Whatever it may have been that you didn't have before you came and watched this episode, we hope you got it. Right. And we're going to send you out with some, some good tunes, some good vibes. So catch y'all on the next episode.
We love you guys.
Can't bite my tongue, say what I please.